Alright, I'm back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be going over a game played in 1970 at the Eastern Experts Open between Andy Soltis and Walter Browne. This is a very quick game. This is only 15 moves, and it highlights a very brilliant trap that you can play against the Sicilian. So let's just jump right in. So we have pawn to e4, pawn to c5, knight f3, d6, pawn to d4, we enter an open Sicilian, knight to f6 is played, knight to c3 is played, pawn to a6, highlighting characterizing the Najdorf Sicilian, a very popular opening. Bishop to c4 is played. This is one of Fischer's favorite moves. So putting the bishop on c4, targeting this weak f7 square, and just putting it along this diagonal. A very aggressive approach. Black plays pawn to e6 to blunt this diagonal a little bit, make this bishop's influence less strong. Bishop to b3, a common move just to tuck the bishop away and get it out of harm's way in an eventual case where maybe knight takes e4 followed by d5 and a fork could potentially occur. Just dropping the bishop back and keeping it safe. Pawn to b5, a common move, just looking to gain space on the queen side, maybe play b4 and kick this knight so it's no longer defending the pawn on e4. And white castles here. So b4 is a possible move here. Knight c to e2 would be played. And you could go in and take this pawn on e4 if you're black. But in this particular game, that's not what we see. So after white castles, we see the move bishop to e7, which is the more solid approach. Knight takes e4 in that line. b4 followed by knight takes e4 is a little bit more aggressive, and black could find himself in trouble due to lack of development. So in this game, we have queen to f3, and this is the move that I really want to highlight here. So this is opening the door to a lot of tactics, namely along this diagonal. So you can see this queen is on the same diagonal as that rook. So white is going to be looking to play the move e5 at the right time. So if black is not careful here, like in the game, black can find himself in some serious trouble. So some of the best moves here: queen to c7, queen to b6, even queen to d7. In that case, if queen to c7 is played, pawn to e5 does not work because bishop to b7 could be played in between move, and black is going to be doing just fine here. However, in the game, we have bishop to d7. So in this position, bishop to d7 is played, and unfortunately this falls straight into white's trap with queen to f3. Pawn to e5 is first played. And then after d takes e5, really the only move to consider. You can't play d5 because you lose the knight. And if you move the knight, then you're going to lose this rook on a8. This is a double attack, so d takes e5 has to be played, putting an attack on this knight. And then here is the crucial move, knight takes e6. A brilliant move. And there are really only two moves that black can consider here. There's bishop takes e6 and there's f takes e6, both of which will end in black going down an exchange here. So black is going to have to give up this rook on a8 and then continue to try and fight a much worse position. However, in the game, e4 was tried, just trying to counterattack this queen on f3. And knight takes d8 is possible here, but white goes in for the best move, which is knight takes g7 with check on the king. And then after king to f8 is played, white plays knight takes e4, and white is really just dominating this position. If king takes g7 is played, knight takes f6, followed by bishop takes f6, and queen to g3 is going to be crushing due to king f8, bishop to h6 check, king e8 or e7, and a rook is coming to the e file, and black's king is going to get absolutely toasted here. So after knight takes e4 here, black chooses to play bishop to c6, trying to put this bishop along the same diagonal as his queen, maybe try and take on e4, this pinned knight. But white simply goes bishop to h6 and says, I don't care about this knight on e4. I'm looking to checkmate your king. And then after bishop takes e4 is played, knight to h5 check was played, and black simply resigns because checkmate is imminent. If king to e8 is played, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6, only move, queen takes e4, and then at the very least, you're giving check and you're picking up this rook. You will be up a rook at the end of this, and then if king to g8 is played, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6, and queen takes e4. And in this case, you're threatening the rook on a8, but you're also threatening queen to g4, which is a serious threat. And this is completely over. This is the ball game. So after knight to h5, black simply resigned. And I thought this was a very, very cool opening trap, starting with queen to f3. And it's very easy for black to just make a casual move like bishop to d7, like in the game, and fall for this trap with e5 followed by knight takes e6. So I thought this was a really cool game, quick game, and very interesting opening trap that white was able to pull in this one. So that's going to be all for this video, but hopefully I find more cool traps or games to go over, and I will see you guys next time.